Welcome to Linghe Daily, your ultimate source for everything about Zhang Linghe. Today, we are taking a closer look at a moment that has once again caught the attention of fans: Zhang Linghe's gaze toward Tian Xiwei. Sometimes, it is not a dramatic gesture, a public confession, or even a single word that makes people curious. Sometimes, it is simply a look. And when that look seems to last just a little longer than expected, fans immediately begin asking the same question. Was there something behind it, or was it simply a natural moment between two familiar faces? Eyes red heart before we go any further, though, it is important to remember that a facial expression or a brief interaction cannot prove someone's private feelings. What we can do is examine the moment, the reactions surrounding it, and why fans found it so memorable. What made this particular moment stand out was not necessarily what Zhang Linghe did, but the subtle way his attention appeared to move toward Tian Xiwei. In a world where celebrities are constantly surrounded by cameras, photographers, staff members, and fans, even the smallest movement can become the subject of intense discussion. Zhang Linghe is no stranger to public attention, and Tian Xiwei has also become one of the most closely watched young actresses in Chinese entertainment. Whenever the two names appear in the same conversation, fans naturally become curious about their interactions. This time, however, the focus was almost entirely on one thing: Zhang Linghe's eyes. Was it simply a passing glance? Or did the expression seem to carry a little more warmth than fans expected? The interesting thing about a gaze is that people often interpret it emotionally, even when there is no clear explanation behind it. A person can look at someone because they are listening, because they recognize them in a crowd, because something caught their attention, or simply because their eyes happen to move in that direction. Yet when two popular celebrities already have a history of being discussed together by fans, an ordinary glance can suddenly feel extraordinary. That is exactly what happened here. Fans began replaying the moment, slowing it down, examining expressions, and comparing it with previous public interactions. Social media discussions quickly turned the simple question of, did he look at her, into something much bigger. Why did he look at her like that? And perhaps that is where the fascination really begins. Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei have previously attracted attention because of their on-screen chemistry and the way audiences respond to their performances together. Their ability to create believable emotional dynamics on screen naturally encourages viewers to pay attention to their interactions outside fictional scenes as well. But there is an important distinction between on-screen chemistry and real-life relationships. Actors are professionals, and part of their job is making fictional relationships feel convincing. A memorable interaction between two actors does not automatically reveal what happens privately between them. Still, when audiences already feel emotionally connected to a pairing, even a completely ordinary moment can become a source of excitement. For fans watching the footage, Zhang Linghe's expression seemed particularly interesting because it did not look exaggerated. There was no obvious dramatic reaction, no theatrical gesture, and no direct statement that could explain what he was thinking. Instead, it was subtle. That subtlety may actually be the reason the moment became so fascinating. When something is obvious, there is usually very little left to discuss. But when something is ambiguous, everyone can see it differently. One fan might interpret the look as simple attention, another might see familiarity, while someone else might believe there was a quiet emotional connection in that moment. None of those interpretations can be confirmed simply by looking at a short clip, but the different readings help explain why the moment generated so much conversation. What makes the situation even more intriguing is Tian Xiwei's presence. She has developed a distinctive public image through her performances, variety appearances, promotional activities, and growing popularity. Her expressive personality and natural reactions often become memorable moments for viewers. When she appears alongside another popular actor, audiences naturally pay attention to the chemistry between them. With Zhang Linghe, that attention can become even stronger because fans have already spent considerable time discussing their previous projects and public appearances. So when Zhang Linghe appears to direct his attention toward Tian Xiwei, even briefly, it can feel like another small piece of a much larger story to those who closely follow them. But here is the part that often gets lost in the excitement. A look is still just a look. It can be meaningful to the people involved, but viewers cannot know its true meaning without direct confirmation. This is especially important when discussing celebrities, because public footage only shows a tiny fraction of their lives. We see the cameras, the events, the interviews, and the carefully documented public moments. We do not see every private conversation, every friendship, or every thought that exists beyond the frame. Therefore, it would be unfair to turn a few seconds of footage into a definite statement about Zhang Linghe's personal feelings. The most reasonable approach is to enjoy the moment while keeping speculation separate from confirmed information. Interestingly, this is also why the phrase "you can't fake a gaze" becomes so tempting for fans. There is a popular belief that eyes always reveal what a person truly feels. In movies and television dramas, directors frequently use close-up shots of an actor's eyes to communicate emotions that dialogue cannot express. A small change in focus, a slight smile, or a moment of hesitation can make an audience believe that a character is falling in love, hiding sadness, or remembering someone important. But real life is different. People's expressions are influenced by countless factors, and cameras can capture only one fraction of a second. So while a gaze can certainly feel emotional, it should not automatically be treated as evidence of a hidden relationship. Still, there is something undeniably charming about the way fans reacted to this moment. Instead of focusing on a huge announcement, they were captivated by something extremely small. That tells us how closely audiences follow Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei. For some fans, their appeal is not simply about romance or shipping. It is about the chemistry, comfort, and familiarity they seem capable of creating whenever they share the same space. Whether that connection comes from professional experience, friendship, mutual respect, or simply strong acting chemistry is something only they can truly know. Viewers can appreciate what they see without needing to force it into a specific label. And perhaps the most interesting question is not whether Zhang Linghe's gaze proves anything, but why that gaze made so many people stop scrolling. In the entertainment industry, celebrities are constantly photographed. There are thousands of images and countless seconds of video uploaded every day. Most of those moments disappear almost immediately. Yet certain expressions stay in people's minds. Usually, it is because the moment creates an emotional question. Here, the question was simple. What was happening behind that look? Was Zhang Linghe simply paying attention to Tian Xiwei? Was he reacting to something she said or did? Was it a familiar glance between two colleagues? Or did fans simply project the emotions they already associate with the pair onto an ordinary interaction? There is also another possibility that should not be ignored. Sometimes chemistry is created by the audience as much as by the people on screen. When viewers love a particular pairing, their brains naturally search for patterns that reinforce that connection. A glance becomes meaningful because it fits into a story they already enjoy. A smile becomes special because they remember another moment from months earlier. A shared event becomes exciting because they imagine what might happen next. This does not mean the fans are wrong for enjoying those moments. It simply means that interpretation and fact are two different things. And when discussing Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei, keeping that distinction clear makes the conversation more interesting rather than less exciting. For Zhang Linghe, moments like this also demonstrate just how closely his public image is being watched. As his popularity continues to grow, fans are paying attention not only to his dramas, but also to his fashion appearances, brand events, interviews, airport moments, and interactions with fellow celebrities. A small expression can become a headline because audiences are curious about every side of an actor they admire. Tian Xiwei experiences a similar level of attention, especially as her own career continues to expand. When two highly visible stars appear in the same frame, the amount of scrutiny naturally increases. That is why even a few seconds can generate thousands of reactions.